Welcome to the press conference held by Emergency Headquarters of Hainan Province against Typhoon Yagi. On September 7th, General Secretary Xi Jinping made important guidance to the typhoon situation in Hainan and Guangdong Province, calling that we should do everything we can to protect people's life and safety. Premier Li Qiang and other officials also give the guidance. This is showed that the great care and support given by the Central Committee and the central government, and also the local government also held the meetings to make plans on the post-disaster work, emphasized that we should work together in line with General Secretary Xi Jinping's guidance, and also we should always put people center, and we should be goal-oriented, and also we should know exactly our role and responsibility, and also to do a solid work in the reconstruction work. The whole provinces worked as one team, and we win temporarily the war against Typhoon Yagi. Right now, our attention shift to the reconstruction phase, and the process province right now is also from the temporary pause to the whole mobilization of efforts to reconstruction work, and we also made detailed plans in this regard. And all the forces from the water authority, communication, the power supply, the sanitation workers, firefighting teams, all involved in the post-disaster reconstruction work. And the constructions, the infrastructure constructions, including power supply, water supply, telecommunication service supply, gas supply, and that's also a key focus. And we also will resume the normal order of work and society as early as possible. And this evening, we invite Mr. Ma Yuhong from the Agricultural and Rural Affairs, Mr. Cao Shuyu from the Hainan Provincial Department of Finance, Mr. Chen Zhenhua from the Department of Education, Mr. Chen Xingwu from Communication Administration, and Mr. Lu Min from Haikou People's Government, and Mr. Qin Aibing from Water Affairs Department. And also with us, we have Mr. Zhao Youcheng from Hainan Power Grid Company. And we will invite speakers to talk about the reconstruction work and also answer some of the questions in people's key interests. Now, please give the floor to Mr. Zhao Youcheng to give you the detailed information about the Haikou and Wenchang, the seriously hit places regarding that power reaccess. Thank you very much. Invite us the Hainan Power Grid as the first to speak. Because of the power outage caused a great impact to people's day-to-day life. Without electricity, people could not open their air conditioner, and the refrigerator also could not work. And also, our people, we experience the same, so that we actually share the same feelings of the people here in Hainan. We know that people have the urgent need in that power supply, and also they want to have the power supply as soon as possible. So that is also the requirement for us, that we do everything we can to resume the power supply as early as possible. We work around the clock, work as hard as possible to let the people re-access to power. So let me give you the details. Hainan Power Grid still remain at the level 1 response level. So far, we have mobilized more than 12,000 people, 3,000 vehicles, and 185 power generators, and the 61 mobile generators to the disaster rescue, relief, and reconstruction work. 79, the ASUP stations, and also that the 602, the optical fibers also resumed. Right now, 112,000 households get access to the electricity. Right now is coming to the critical period of the power reaccess under the strong leadership of the provincial government, and we also mobilize that's the our forces to the power supply, and we also give three priorities to our work. First, we give priority to telecommunication, water supply, and also other the equipment related to people's lives. We talk about that within 24 hours. We give the supply to the four key water companies, and also we give the power supply to the train companies, and also we get the 6 trucks, and also to make sure Terminal 1 of the airport could back to service. And also today, we seen the very first airplane took off from Hainan, and also we work with the hospital and schools, make sure that the service is stable for the hospitals, and we also dispatch the power trucks to the schools, make sure that the school could open, and also we give priority to the high population density places, and more than 1,220 communities shut down. And right now, 715 community, which means more than 60% of the community back to electricity. In terms of base station, 7,149 right now got access to electricity. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I give the floor to Mr. Chen Qingwu. He give you the information about the damaged base station and the reconstruction work. Friends from the media, good evening. Now, I would like to give you the updated information regarding the telecommunication service caused by a Yagi. Because of this power phone, some of the base stations were damaged seriously. The telecommunication industries prepared ourselves to provide the guarantee work and also the repairing work. Let me give you our work in three areas. First, talk about the damages. The Super Typhoon this time caused no impact to our main telecommunication services. So there is no big cutoff of the telecommunication signals. There is no county or villages out of service. As of the 6 p.m. today, more than 20,000 the base station lost the service right now, around the 28.4% of the base station waiting for getting access to service. Wentang and Haikou seriously hit places. Right now, the base station there, 1,805 base station, more 59.8% of the base station waiting for get access. In Haikou, more than 6,000 base stations out of service, or 60.5% of the base station waiting to get reaccess to the grid. Talking about the preparation before the typhoon, based on the unified leadership of the local government, and we actually checked the station by station, make sure that the power supply and also that the oils in place, and we also prepared the for emergency situation, and we also work with the Ministry of Information Industry Technology, and also work with the telecommunication suppliers, so that equipment as well as personnel also stand by. And second, talk about the post-disaster reconstruction after the Yagi, and we started our work in terms of repairment. So far, we dispatched 10,000 people and also more than 5,000 vehicles dispatched, and also 4,294 the oil equipment also involved. As of 6 p.m. today, 14,031, which means 49.4% of the base station damaged re-access to the service. For Wenchang, 182 base station, and Haikou, 1,293 base stations right now repaired. And third, we work with the information ministry and also work with the telecommunication companies. They give us greater support in reconstruction. And also we got 600 power generators on the way to Hainan. The equipment supported by the other companies also on the way. And the power supply, oil supply right now is in normal order. And in terms of other emergency supplies are also prioritized to arrive in Hainan. Going forward, we will continue to implement General Secretary Xi Jinping's key important guidance, as well as the guidance given by Premier Li Qiang, and also the work plan of the provincial government. And we will continue to prioritize our work. First, we will strengthen our efforts in monitoring the network service, make sure that the telecommunication network in a normal order, and we also dispatch expert teams to work on site and give guidance to the power supplier, the service suppliers, so we could resume the work of the base station early as possible. And we also will give more support to Haikou and the Wenchang CGs, and also we will work with the relevant ministry as well as the telecommunication suppliers, make sure that we have more supplies and more people involved in reconstruction work. Thank you very much from the Hainan Power Grid. Now the floor is open for questions. Please identify your media affiliation before raising questions. So my question to also the A grade, power grade, and we talked about yesterday, and there's more than 1,000 people from Guangdong to support Hainan, as you mentioned just now, and Hainan because of the Yagi, 1.68 million households affected. So what's the current plan? So I give the floor to Mr. Zhao Youcheng. Thank you very much for your questions. And also believe these questions and calls a lot of attention. Right now, the grade repairment is underway in order to effectively carry out our work and resume electricity as early as possible. We have done the following. First, we continue to allocate the needed supplies. In Hainan, we established the frontline headquarters, National Emergency Authority, and also local authorities dispatch the work on the front line and also work on the allocation of resources. And Mr. Peng Fei also to our headquarters, and the butter. The deputy mayor also worked in our office. Military and also the commerce, the forestry, road transport, and also other the authorities also give us great support to resume transport by road, by port, clean the road, the gas supply, oil supply, and also the people's accommodation, and anything that related to the reconstruction of the electricity that all worked among different authorities. We talk about one places encountered problems, they will receive support from neighboring places. So from Guangdong, Guangxi, they cross Qingzhou, the peninsula. Then right now the first batch arrived, and the fourth batch, more than 5,000 people, they will arrive in Hainan this evening, this tonight. And we'll also strengthen our work in allocating supplies. So far, we have sent a lot of equipment to the front line. The poles, the 25,000, and also the power lines, and more than 3,000 meters. And also, we continue to make sure that the schools could be reopened as early as possible. And we also make our plan to support schools. We sent more than 1,000 the power generator trucks and other the power suppliers to schools. Make sure that the schools electricity could be well guaranteed, so you always can find the power suppliers provided by us in the key areas. And I also would like to say a big thank you for media to let people know our work. And right now, we also mobilize all our personnel involved in this reconstruction effort. And we hope that we could use the shortest time to resume electricity. And we will work against the clock and also to deliver our commitment, let people be satisfied. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhao. Xinhua News Agency, tomorrow is Monday, which means that the hospitals, universities, and also the key government departments will work, but we still find people have difficulties in getting access to internet or making phone calls. So is that problem will continue? So I invite Mr. Chen Jingwu to answer your question. Thank you for your question. To your first question, Super Typhoon Yagi give a heavy blow to the communication industry, especially to Haikou and Wenchang cities. And we talk about that more than 80% of the stations in these two places could not get access to the signals. We feel so sorry. We're causing people have problems using phone calls, making phone calls or using internet service. In order to resume the normal order of the service supply, we also mobilize our people to the places to conduct the repairment of base stations. Right now, we, after our hard work, and from the server exiting rate dropped from 35.8% to 20%. And Haikou and Wenchang, this ratio also dropped. With CA power resumed, and we involved more efforts to the reconstruction of the power base station. We believe that we will further lower the rate of the server exit rate. And we hope that on September 10th, we will resume the normal supply of the communication service. To your second question, in my introduction, the Super Typhoon we could see that mobile networking actually is impacted seriously. Tomorrow, the school is open, and also that work people start to work, so that which means that it cause the more traffic to the mobile networking. So I could give some the advice. So if that would like to make a phone call, please use the fixed phone. So you could use like your landline phones. And also we talk about it, you could also use the a broadband service. We talk about for different places, different location, the mobile signals are actually different. So when the signal is not stable, maybe you could really find the better signal in a different location, a different direction. But of course, we will speed up our work to resume the normal service supply. Thank you. Thank you very much for your advice. Hainan TV for the reconstruction work of the Super Typhoon Yagi. What measures have been taken by Department of Finance? What's your work plan in the reconstruction phase? Thank you. I would like to invite Mr. Cao Shuyu from the Hainan Provincial Department of Finance to answer your question. Thank you for your question. We took swift actions and we have done the following three works. First, we allocate capitals September 4th, and we also allocate around that 1.1 billion to the different places, especially to Haikou and Wenkang. We also make sure that they have a sufficient fund for the disaster reconstruction work, and we also report to the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Finance also allocate at 85 million RMB, and also we got 100 million ADRC for the disaster rescue relief work, and also we allocate 1 billion. So in total, 1.185 billion RMB for the disaster rescue relief and reconstruction work. Right now, we also to learn the picture from different departments and also different places. So we will report the overall pictures to the ministries to get the better support and talk about our work. Right now, we also work on the how to better manage that fund and how to allocate all these funds. So we will have the approval system, make sure that put a very close eye on the fund management, make sure that it's used for the dedicated purpose, which is for disaster relief and rescue and reconstruction work. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cao. From Nanhai Networking. After Typhoon Yagi, people care about the power supply as well as the water supply. So we would like to know right now in Hainan province, when is the time that we could get the free access to water supply? I would like to invite Mr. Qin Aibin from the Water Affairs Department to answer your question. Thank you for your question. After Typhoon Yagi tearing through Hainan, 32 pipelines impacted, especially in Haikou and Wenchang City. The power supply constructions damaged service seriously. And talk about the other cities. Right now, they could supply water normally. And we have to take 3 actions. First, we send experts to the seriously affected places, to the water companies to get their work. Second, we also organize the authorities to test the water quality, make sure that the water safety is guaranteed. And third, we also educate the residents in terms of the saving water resources. In the Haikou, 3 water companies and 1 water source companies, because of the power outage, they could not provide the water. And we also work with the Hainan power grid company, and we send the trucks to the power companies, and also send the power trucks to the companies, and hope that we could resume the water supply. And in Wenchang, we also faced a similar situation. On the same day, we fixed the water pipeline, and the water could be supplied. In Haikou and Wenchang, right now already back to service. But we talk about that the companies or the power plants resume working. That mean that they could supply the water immediately. We talk about that after that the work operation resumed, we should first lift that the water pressure to the normal level, so then could supply water to the needed places. And we also allocate resources. We send 16 water supply trucks to the 57 companies and communities, make sure that we could fulfill the basic needs of the household. As of today, in Haikou, there are still 125 communities, including 63,000 people, had difficulties to get access to water. Right now, in Haikou, 3 big water plants started to provide water to the communities. And today, at the midnight, the communities could get access to water. Thank you.
你好，南方日报记者提问，请问全省各学校台风中的受
A
灾
question
情况
regarding
是
the
怎么样的？
schools
恢复正常
and
上
what's
课 是
your
不是一
plan
个考
to
虑？
resume schools?
好，这个问题请
I would like
省
to
教育
invite
局副
Mr.
局
Chen
长
Zhenghua
陈
to
振华
answer your
先生回答
question.
感谢媒
Thank
体
you for
朋
your
友对教育
question.
的关心。
Super
台
Typhoon
风摩羯
Yagi
对全省各级各类
caused a
学校
big
影响
impact
巨
to
大，
schools at
在
different
省委省
levels.
政府的坚强领导下，
Now, the
全省教育
education
系统落细落实各项
department
防御措
also
施，
that
提
we
前停课，做好
stopped
在校师
schooling
生员工转移、
had
师
over
生安全
typhoon.
教育等防范工作。
The
各高校
universities
通过校院负责人、
also
领导员、班主任、
sent
副主宿
the
舍和学习
teachers
准
and
备纲
tutors
领的
to
方式，
the
做好留校学生工作。总体上，
dormitories,
确保
make sure
校园
that
安
the
全
students stay in a safer
实现
place.
无重大人员
There's
伤
no
亡和
casualties
个体
reported,
重大财
and
产
no
损
big
失，
losses or
但本次
facility
台风
damage
也
reported.
造成
And we
不少
talk
学
about
校
Super
基础设
Typhoon
施设备、
indeed still
校园
caused
环境
a
等
damage
程
to
度
the
的受
schools.
损，特别是据灾
And
后
based on our
第一天统
calculation,
计，全省无
there
水无电学校
are
达
around
到
2,085 schools
2085所，
without
占
access to the
46%
electricity
的
and
话，
water. That also account
台
for
风过后， 省
46.8%.
教育厅
So
宣布
for
学习
the
贯彻
education
习近平
department,
总书记对海南、广东等地台风灾害作出的重要指
alert
示
the
影响，
General Secretary's
贯彻
important
落实
guidance,
省委
as
常
well
委
as
会议
the
精
plan
神，
made by
把
the
工作的重心
Provincial Party
从防
Committee
御
and
应
the
对
government.
强
Right
险
now,
转
we
入
also
到
focus
灾后
our
校园恢复重
work
建、
to
复学
the
复课的工作
reopening
上，
of schools. Based on the unified leadership, the education department work with the universities and the schools. At first, we sent a letter to the schools and to all the students, mobilizing teachers, faculties, and the schools, organizing the O team involved in the reconstruction work, which means that the could organize team to clean the road, to clean the water, make sure that the road that reopened, and also to repair that the needed facilities, and also to check that the potential risks, and also to resume the order of the school. And second, we also to put the safety and security as our top priority, and also that we give the plan based on each and every schools, and also make a plans for the resuming of schools, and we also send to the experts to the key areas in a seriously affected places. We talk about that the schools, if they would like to reopen, which means they could get access to the power supply as well as water, and also that the basic the teaching infrastructure that could be used. There's no potential risks so far. 1,030 primary and then secondary schools, and also 70 occupational schools, and also that the universities also could be resumed. And also we know the relative the authorities right now still working around the clock to resume the power supply, water supply. And we also talk about tomorrow more than 80% of the schools could resume classes. And for universities, they also worked on their plans, make sure that tomorrow, September 9th, that the university could also resume classes. For the seriously impacted schools and places, they will resume classes later after the power and water supply, and also there's no potential risk, then the schools could be opened. For exactly time that the schools or the local education authorities will make the announcement. Going forward, the education department will continue to guide the work of the schools and universities, make sure that everything could be carried out in an orderly manner, and also make sure that the students and the faculty stay safe, and the school could be resumed as early as possible, so that parents, we assure you that we will resume the classes as early as possible, and also we guarantee that we'll provide enabling environment so in a very safe and lively manner. Thank you.
我们有请第二排中间那位女记者。
Sunshine TV.
三沙卫视记者提问。
Super Typhoon Yagi caused a big impact to agriculture industry. To offer Typhoon Yagi and how the agriculture and the rural affairs conduct your work.
全力抓好灾后农业生产恢复。谢谢。
Thank you. I would like to invite Mr. Ma Yuhong from the Department of Agriculture and Rural Affairs to answer your question. Thank you for your question. So let me first give you a general picture of the agriculture industry. So far, at the 11.9 billion losses and 1.4 billion mu cost impact, and also around the 440,000 mu without harvest. That's causing 3.1 billion losses. Talk about the husbandry, animal husbandry industry, 7.4 billion losses. And talk about the fishery industry, also around 4.6 billion losses. And also, this is not a full calculation. We didn't account the number from Sansha, Qiongzhou. For the whole province, 296 counties and villages affected, 41 counties just lifted from poverty, and 51,000 people. We've relocated 862 people, and more than 9,000 more of the area line affected. Around 250,000 more of cropland affected.
农田损害面积是11.92万亩，高标准农田项目区农田损毁面积约13.86万亩。
After Typhoon Yagi, we immediately took the actions to resume the work. Based on the unified leadership and the plan, our department also had the working meetings and for giving the key focus to the most impacted places, and also we allocate the prepared emergency resources in the key areas, and we also establish the temporary resource allocation plan, and also organize 7 teams for reconstruction, and we also sent the experts to the key affected areas to get the reworking, and we also sent the work with the insurance company to start the insurance claim settlement work. So far, we received 3,049 cases, in totaling 250 million RMB. 84 cases finishing investigation, and 16 cases closed. And 13.96 million already claimed. Talk about that the pesticide and fertilizer in the sufficient quantities, and also we talk about 40 cords, that's around at the 300,000 more. And because of Typhoon Yagi, the animal also died, so we also to send the animal pandemic medicines to the affected areas. So going forward, we'll learn the full pictures to guide our reconstruction work. We also will send the people to check household by household, and for the farmers in the difficulties, and we will also give them additional support. And third, we will also organize the agricultural experts to provide the support to manage that the pest prevention and control, and also to repair the infrastructure needed for agriculture. And fourth, we will also to get more financial support, and also to work with the insurance company and to speed up the claim settlement work, and also will work with the financial institute to get more support to the reconstruction work. Thank you. One last question, please.
好，我们有请第2排中间这位男记者。
谢谢主持人。
Hong Kong commercial newspaper, and people care about the resumption of the water, electricity, and communication. So what's the overall situation? I can first give the floor to Mr. Lu Min. Thank you for your question. Let me give you the more detail about the situation in Haikou. For Haikou, as you know, that the Typhoon Yagi tears through Hainan province, giving a big impact to Hainan, causing a huge losses. Hainan city seriously implemented the important guidance given by General Secretary Xi Jinping, as well as the plan made by the provincial party committee and government. And we also made that the reconstruction plan, organizing the authorities, and also established 11 teams to resume the power supply, water supply, gas supply, and also to repair the infrastructure. Right now, all the work is carried out in an orderly manner. In terms of water supply, the fair water authorities also organize their work. The 3 water plant and 1 water resource plant right now back to work. And the power supply, that is the 670,000 cubic meters per day. And for the communities, right now 2,038 communities, accounting for 95.5%, right now regain their access to water supply. But for the peak supplying period, the some community or that the people living at the hair the storage they could find sometimes they could get hard access to the water supply, and for some other areas previously they got that the water supply from the underground water. Right now around the wells that they could not get the water pumped up because they could not get electricity. So this evening, we will also match to speed up our work and hope that we could get wells of work. And also around 2,000 in the villages right now have difficulties, and right now around 843 villages regain their access to the water supply. In terms of a gas supply, 5,022 household impact so far out of 2,009 household. So the number increased from 83% to 97%. For the gas pipeline, that's increased from the 28% to 50% today, and also 310,000 households affected, and 110,000 households regain access, 36.6% of the total number. The power supply already mentioned by the other speakers. In terms of transport, for the 500 roads blocked right now is all clean. For the 33 county road and village road, we almost resume all of them. There's one road right now is under construction. Going forward, we will focus our key priority to the reconstruction effort, and we hope that we could get the ACT to operate as early as possible. And here, I also would like to say on behalf of the municipal the people's government, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to the frontline workers, firefighters, our volunteers, and also our media friends. Thank you for your hard work. And this is the end of this press conference. And now is the reconstruction working phase, and we will continue to hold the press conference to keep you updated. And also our WeChat official account, we will also update information. Please stay tuned.
请大家关注。朋友们，在这次防御超
This
强
time during the fight against the Super
省内
Typhoon
媒体
Yagi,
担当作为，
our provincial media outlet and
兄
also
弟
our
是一
the
致的媒体，
central media outlet as well as the neighboring
大家不怕艰险，
provincial the media friends give us great support, and you also overcame the difficulties to the most hated places and also made media
凝聚
coverage
在合力，
and also
营造了
that
良好的舆论氛围，
reflects the true picture,
极大激励
and also that also help the people to learn the information and also to strengthen the confidence for the people here in Hainan
我代表
province.
海南省委宣传
And I would like to say a big thank you for your hard work.
表示衷心的感谢。现在，灾后恢复
Now
重建工作
the post-disaster reconstruction work in full swing, and also would like to invite our media friends
再接再厉，
to convey the message
党委政府的决策部署和相关
so
安排
people could know about the our work and the plan, so they know exactly what's going on in terms of the reconstruction work. We also talk about that different teams that they're working on the front line, they're working day and night
开展工作
to
的
buy more times.
感人事迹，和群众积极开展自救
And there are a lot of touching stories.
感人事迹。让我们是特别感动的是，
And also,
我们越来
we
越
could
多
see
的
more and more the residents and farmers also
加
join
入到我们这场
the bigger team.
抗灾赈灾的斗争和工作中来。我也相信我们的市民朋友、农民朋友，
I also believe that they will give us more patience
相信
because they believe the effort made by the party and the government.
为打赢这场救灾
So we
硬仗。
will strengthen the mighty force
好，
to win the battle. Thank you.
谢谢大家。